Hey, what's up? Welcome to today's video. Today the market just pumped in the last few hours. Litecoin out of the blue up 10.5%. In today's video we're going to talk the chances that Bitcoin will fail, why could it fail, and a bunch of predictions from Murad about the state of Bitcoin and where we're going to develop in the next few years with the Lightning Network, and just his technical analysis. And he thinks that many altcoins will outperform Bitcoin in the next 4 years. So the big question is, where the money question is, which altcoins is it going to be? You know, is it going to be Neo? Is it going to be Icon, OneChain, right? Remember all the hype about OneChain? That's pretty interesting. So he did share a lot of insights here. We got Pump sharing what Abra just did. So Abra is an amazing company. They just introduced the future of investing, allowing you to use Bitcoin to invest in stocks and ETFs from 155 countries around the world. Zero trading fees. Just amazing. I'm surprised that this is happening so fast. It's crazy. Every stock, bond, currency, and commodity will be tokenized. No longer a question of if, but rather a question of when, says Pump. And yeah, I'm surprised with Abra. Great job. Never used it. Might want to check it out. Right, definitely worth learning. Right now that I think about it, I mean, you can invest with Bitcoin in stocks and ETFs from anywhere in the world. That's worth experimenting with, right? It looks like this app is going to be a giant, but it's already pretty big, right? Speaking of giants, Binance brought in $446 million in profits in 2018, despite the bear market. Bear market? Not here, bro. Not here. That's like what, $1.3 million a day in profit? Not bad, CZ, not bad. So yeah, let's get started. What's up? My name is Dvir on the Cryptosphere. I make news videos on this channel every day, except for yesterday. I was really sick, man. I was feeling terrible. I was lying down on bed. I ate something bad. I was lying down on my bed. The news video was half done, and I was like trying to get up to force myself to record the video, and it was literally so painful. My stomach was hurting a lot that I was like, okay, screw it, we're not going to make a video today. And I'm kind of sad because I broke out my record. It's broken now. We had a streak of more than 240 days, more than half a year or something crazy like that, where every day I made one video or more. So that was pretty cool. But hey, I mean, sometimes we're all humans, right? So yeah, today the market is in the green. Like I said, just in the last few hours, you can see those green candles here. Just to go down and then it goes up. Nothing too special with crypto. You can see Bitcoin just below $3,500. Litecoin, I don't know what's up with Litecoin. Up 10.5%. I mean, yay, the silver to Bitcoin gold, I guess. The biggest gainers of the day are Quant, Wax, Veritasium, Polymath, and Litecoin. Biggest losers, okay, no really big losers today. Okay, sweet. So Murad Mahmoudov just had a conversation with Matt Odell. They were sharing a bunch of their ideas about where the market's going to go. They were talking both about the price and the fundamentals. So Murad says that he thinks that the exact bottom is going to be between 1,700 to 2,300 between April and July. So that's good because we still have like 2 to 5 months until then, right? So we still have some more time to build some cash, accumulate, get ready for buying more and buying the actual bottom. So we still have time for that. There's no need to FOMO in. And then also, let me see. And then he was talking about Lightning Network. That was interesting. So he says Lightning and similar layer 2 tech will literally be the next internet. In their final form, they will be the base layer, and they will make the base layer look minimal. The system is upside down pyramid. Layer 1 for occasional hyper secure settlement, and then there's a whole universe. Layer 2, Layer 3, Layer 4 on top of it. It will enable the payment use cases, which will make people see the final vision. Another strong narrative medium of exchange along with store value. Yeah, so it looks like Bitcoin and Lightning Network might become something like the TCP/IP Internet Protocol suite, where you have a bunch of protocols that everything's built on top of. And today we don't really know much about TCP/IP unless you're a techie. And this is what it's going to look like, at least. I mean, if you believe the Bitcoin narrative that it will become like a black hole that, kind of like steals a lot of value or like sucks in all this value from like stocks, fiat, real estate, altcoins, will become this huge thing it's going to build this ecosystem on, it kind of makes sense. I kind of believe that narrative, to be honest. Kind of makes sense to me. I mean, at the end of the day, if you look at it, the Internet Protocol wars at the early 90s, it was just the TCP/IP that won and everything else lost. I mean, nobody's using Gopher today, if you know what it is even, right? So it looks like this is going to be the case with Bitcoin, but never know, right? Now, let me see. He says Litecoin and Lightning in the next 2 to 3 years will be like a niche toy, kind of like the early days of Bitcoin. So it's going to be a giant, but it's going to start as a toy in the beginning. And let me see. And then he says 99% of people don't care about censorship, decentralization, and privacy. Now, he says here that many altcoins will outperform Bitcoin in the next 4 years. And historically, that was true. In every cycle from the bottom to the top, there were altcoins that outperformed Bitcoin, and then they died down in the bear market. But the question is, which altcoins are they going to be, right? In the last cycle, it was Verge, it was Ripple, it was Ethereum, and Neo, right? So there were a bunch of those that literally like 1000x or something crazy like that. So the question is, which one are these going to be? I mean, you just need to get one of these right. You put $1,000 and you're literally set for life, right? You could get 100, 500x. Pretty doable. It's just a matter of choosing the right one, right? That's the tough question. So that's an interesting question. I was planning to do more research into it, to look into which altcoins it may be, because it's hard. It's really hard to know. That's like the $1 million question, right? And then he's very skeptical of Litecoin, and he thinks that Bitcoin will take 75% of the market. And let me see. He says Bitcoin has the highest chance of succeeding out of every cryptocurrency due to the first mover, conception, and liquidity advantage. And then Bitcoin is a 10x improvement over gold and fiat. In order to supplant it, you need 10x improvement over Bitcoin, and that's much harder. Currencies also compete in Lindy effect, community, and religiousity. It's talking about brand and community here. There is 25% chance the Bitcoin gets supplanted and another altcoin will take Bitcoin place. I was just talking about it in the Cryptosphere Academy yesterday, just the Bitcoin Lindy effect and stuff. You know, you need, when you go from A to B, when you're trying to shift something, you need it to be 10 times better. You can't have it just a little bit better, you know. So Bitcoin came and it's arguably 10 times better than gold and fiat in terms at least of the features, not in terms of the network yet, right, which is being built, like the adoption. But in terms of the features, like it's 10 times better. But for an altcoin to come now and be 10 times better than Bitcoin, it's going to be so difficult. I mean, look how long it took us to get Bitcoin, right? So going from, it's not going from 1 to n. You literally need to go from 0 to 1, like Peter Thiel famously says in his book, 0 to 1, right? So an altcoin going from Bitcoin to something that's going to be 1 magnitude better, it just looks so hard to believe. And the only believable chance that I see is if Bitcoin screws up, we have some vulnerability, something like that, then it's possible that an altcoin will overtake it. But so far, I don't see this happening so far for now. Now, Binance, like I said, $446 million in profit in 2018. Well earned. Really great company. Really like them. Now, we got here an interesting case study about the case for electronic cash. So this is a really cool article that is talking about the issues of having no cryptocurrencies, or having a society where it's cashless, but then it can be easily trackable by the government, or, you know, like 1984, all that sort of thing, where you live in a society where you have no freedom. So the issue right now is that we have all around the world, governments are starting to want and promote and gradually enforce no cash societies. So they try to, MasterCard and Visa, they try to promote people not using cash, but actually paying with credit cards and so on and so forth. And the issue with that is that in a society where you don't use cash, you have much less privacy. And that could become a surveillance society quite easily, to be honest, once you get to that point. And that is one of the huge benefits of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, to be honest with you, is that we have an alternative solution to it. That if people do not want to have their privacy compromised, they can say no to it and use something else. So right now, it's still the early days for Bitcoin. There's no doubt about it in terms of mainstream adoption. It's not anytime soon. But in 5-10 years from now, when this is going to get very applicable, when the issues with lack of privacy are going to get worse and worse, Bitcoin will be a different beast by then, hopefully, or whatever cryptocurrency is going to be the biggest at the time. And hopefully, we will have a solution to this problem. Because if you look at it historically over the last 3-4 decades, every year we have less and less privacy. We use more and more of our phones, of our computers, social networks, Facebook, YouTube, Google. All these giants are tracking our information. and for the consumer, it's generally not a good thing, especially in the long term. Those trends are very concerning to me, and they're some of the most concerning trends that I see in our generation, to be honest with you. But yeah, I know this is a bit dramatic, just sharing my honest thoughts with you. Now, besides that, something really bullish for Bitcoin. So Jack, the CEO of Twitter, said yesterday that implementing Bitcoin into Twitter into Twitter is a good idea. He said that implementing the Lightning Network into Twitter is a good idea. Never mind. He says here, longest Bitcoin bear market ever. VC investment increasing every year. Coinstar allowing Bitcoin purchases across the US. Bitcoin price is down 85%. What could you actually be waiting for, right? What entry point are you looking for? And yeah, I mean, I'm waiting. Like, I got a position in, but I'm still waiting for it to go lower, right? But yeah, this is definitely an excellent entry point for crypto, right? For Bitcoin especially. Altcoins, not so sure. Now, also, we got a cool trend to see over time that you can see here today and 4.5 years ago. Bitcoin is becoming more decentralized. You can see that the mining hash rate distribution is getting more and more distributed, evenly distributed across time. I mean, he shows here kind of like the worst time in 2014 where Ghash had more than 51% of the network hash rate for a short amount of time, and then they kind of stepped down from that to today, where it's like you need, how many miners? You need like the top 5 miners to 51% attack the network. So that is great. Definitely getting more decentralized day by day. And yeah, like I said, very excited about Bitcoin. This is cool to see how incentives for miners kind of align with incentives for all of the Bitcoin users, right? And then BTC Pay Server, I like them even though I don't use them. They basically allow people to get paid. It's an open source payment processor for crypto. And they basically said, someone suggested we should have a privacy policy in BTC Pay. They say, how about this? We don't collect anything. Bye. And I absolutely love it. I mean, just seeing this makes me so happy. A day where we have privacy policies like that would be cool. Would definitely be cool in the crypto space. Not sure if we'll see it, in traditional companies. That's a different story. Also, we got a FUD article on Wired. Honestly, cryptos are useless. They're only used by speculators, criminals who want a black market way to exchange money. So we got some more FUD in the mainstream here. Nothing too new. And to be honest, I mean, a lot of cryptocurrencies are kind of useless and used by speculators. But again, it doesn't mean that there's not a lot of value to them in the long term. Now, blast from the past, speaking about the long term, letters by computer, here's how it's done, how to write a letter on your computer. So we literally have an instruction here about how to send an email. Our internet address is dcmreg@delphi.com. On computer serve, we're at 76,247. What is that, coordinates? Anyways, you can see that it's very complex, right? Like, you look at it and you're like, WTF, like, what's going on here? And today we know how to use the internet, so that looks kind of easy. But back then, man, it was just like crypto today, right? And we got Mike Dudas talking about here the disconnect between the incredible progress being made to build the crypto ecosystem, and on the other hand, the perception of failure in mainstream financial and tech circles is staggering. People are just like, look at crypto, it's dead. You see it was up here and then it's down here. It's totally dead, bro, right? So people are saying, well, that was fine while it lasted. So someone outside the crypto space is saying that. And investment management, CIO, let me see, right? So not a crypto person, huh? Kind of interesting. And then he says, oh boy, the Bitcoin evangelists spotted this tweet and are out in full geek. So he's talking about the black backlash, huh? Interesting, man, interesting. Definitely Bitcoin is not cool right now. Now, something else that's interesting is a cognitive bias, according to Alex Kruger, that we have, is that a lot of time we look at altcoins or Bitcoin and we look at how the price right now versus the price at the all-time high. So we say Bitcoin's down 85%, Ethereum is down 93%. It's really cheap, right? But then he says that the all-time highs are the result of a bubble. Bitcoin, cryptos are not cheap just because they're down 85 to 99% from the all-time high. This is a mistake and it's a bias. So you shouldn't look at what the price was at the all-time high. You should kind of look at the value and the current market cap and see if it makes sense to you. So I definitely agree with him. And finally, guys, if you'd like to become a better crypto investor and learn how to find better investment opportunity in the market, check out my training. I'm going to show you 7 secrets to master cryptocurrencies become a better investor, learn how to evaluate cryptocurrencies, how to find the right coins early, and avoid buying shit coins, to be honest, that go down in value and lose your portfolio. We also talk about investment strategies for Bitcoin that outperform hodling and will allow you to find better entry points and exit points for Bitcoin and also for other altcoins. So a ton of value in this webinar. Honestly, I'm going to share some of my the best things I've seen in the space. If I knew this stuff when I got started, it would have saved me like tens of thousands of dollars that I lost in crypto. I'm not even kidding. So make sure to check out the webinar. Lots of value. And yeah, that's it. Look forward to see you there. And much love. See you soon. Bye-bye.